Hello and welcome to this video on permutations and combinations. This is part of the binomial expansion series of videos as part of the OCR Additional Maths course. So this question is quite a nice one for us to look at because it will help us to see what is the difference between a combination and a permutation. So before we actually come to answer the questions, let's just look at what they're asking us to do. So we're told there are 5 competitors in the race. In question A, we're interested in the number of different arrangements that exist for a podium finish. So finishing in the top 3. So how many different ways are there of a first, second and third place? Whereas question B is saying if the top 3 qualify for another competition, how many different arrangements exist for this? So in the first example, the order that the first 3 competitors finish is important. In question B, the order that the first 3 competitors finish is not important. As long as they're in the first 3, they're qualifying. And this difference is the same as the difference is between a permutation and a combination. So question A is an example of permutation, and question B is an example of combination. So for permutations, the order is important, and for combinations, the order is not important. Now you may have noticed the 2 formulae on the bottom right hand side of the screen. They are the formula that we can use for permutations and combinations. So both use N and R, where N is the number of items that there are to be selected from. So in this case, that's the 5 competitors. And R is the number of selections we're going to make. So in this case 3, because we're interested in only the top 3. So this factorial notation, which is the exclamation mark, you should have come across this previously. If you haven't, I suggest you watch the video preceding this one on the product rule of counting first. But that in itself is a shortcut of multiplication, and the NPR and NCR, most calculators have that as a function which you can use, so you don't even need to use the formula itself. It is something that you may need to come across in various problem solving scenarios though. But for today we're just going to look at using the formula. So how many different arrangements exist for a podium finish top 3? So there are 5 items I can select from, the 5 competitors. I'm looking at a permutation and I'm interested in selecting 3. So if I type that into my calculator, I get the answer of 60. Now when I do the combinations one, so still 5 and 3, but this time it's combinations, and that gives me the answer of 10. Now it's considerably lower. We'd expect it to be lower. In fact, it needs to be lower because the order isn't important for a combination, whereas it is for a permutation. So here are some questions you can have a go at. So set A is simply just a case of you practicing using your calculator, or the formula if you wish to. And then set B is looking to see if you can apply it. And the thing you're going to have to watch out for is it a permutations question or is it a combinations question? And then here are the answers.